into this Nasus, and the Nasus is going to be answered by the Alawi. That sounds like absolute torture for Nasus.
And, you know, Alawi being Teasm's primary champion, he's going to know this matchup pretty well.
Yeah.
He has been picked a couple times in the top lane, but yeah, like the one that stuck out into my mind straight away was Outlaw's jungle game. I think that was in playoffs as well, and if I remember correctly, he did pretty well on it. But this one's interesting. Look, we've got a cleanse on the Draven, not massively surprising given the amount of crowd control and lockdown that ICW have available to them.
Yeah, the Ashe ulti, the Nautilus, the Nautilus period, the Malzahar period. I mean, can you cleanse a Malzahar ulti? I don't think you can.
No.
No, you can't, but even still,
No, but you
it's worth it.
you know, you've got an Ashe ult, you've got a Rammus taunt. There's plenty to be getting at you.
Yeah. Yeah, just gonna go for a 5-point. Crow. Not really able to find much. This could be an AP Nasus, by the way. I know Airy with D-Ring into like AD is a thing, but knowing Crow, this very well... In fact, I'm almost positive this is an AP Nasus now that I've said it out loud, because if you look at his team, we can't check full runes from screen share, or from replay, sorry, but I'm pretty sure that's an AP Nasus.
I think it will be.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense given their team comp. You know, the only AP coming from Amumu. Despite the fact that that champ does do a lot of damage, you wouldn't want it probably to be your solo AP.
Yeah.
But this one's going to be interesting. I mean, Amumu immediately counter jungling here.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Starting
realize
on the
that. Yeah. I don't think Rammus knows either.
Definitely
Davis
not.
looking for a level 1 engage onto Deja Full. Draven has the axes ready. Gonna get one auto attack down, hooked in by the Nautilus. Doing so much more damage than the Ashe can output early game. Havoc starting this game from 0 minutes. Not wasting any time to get involved.
Probably expecting. I think we're expecting a very, very aggressive Havoc bot lane.
Yeah.
It should be quite hard for Deja Full to farm. And Nautilus, despite obviously being a tank, is killable.
Yeah, as well. This Alawi, she will struggle. This Nasus poke with the area and the Scorch, it really is relentless. There's so much, and it stacks up so quickly as well. That being said, Amu might look for a proper punish here top side. Davis is going to go in with the flash. Digital has to use that flash to get away. I think you're very much more than happy to trade the support's flash for the enemy ADCs, especially in a Draven lane. And yeah, first advantage in all sides of the map for Havoc. A huge CS lead breaking out in bot lane. This wave is crushing, granted, but
it's not looking fun for Alawi in the top lane though either.
It's not looking fun for anyone at the moment. Jesus. I don't know if she's opted in for second wind. She does have D shield and she does have green primary, but I'm not totally sure. That being said, Blaziken running straight into the spot lane. The flash Q from Howlitzer going to go wide, dodged out by the flash from Time Gear. Davis going back in. Going to get away with his life. Vince playing very aggressive here. That hook is almost off cooldown. Blaziken might loop around. He is going to loop around. Directed camera. Well, let us have a look. He's not going to get anything down there. And nothing yet in the way of blood for either teams.
But entirely flashless in the bot lane now.
Yeah.
Imagine both junglers going to be looking at it, but Riftmark obviously is the more likely rotation now. There's not much for Rammus to do.
Blaziken turns his attention towards mid lane. Rack very, very well dodged out with that E. Very, very difficult champion to get out of the lane, this Tryndamere. This Nasus poke just does not stop. Obviously 1 E gets her about 30% of her HP back if she's that low, but no, it's really, really, really difficult.
Tryndamere with the fleet and
Amumu shows his face bot lane. Is he going to be able to land that bandage toss? He is with the flash Deja Full with a good cleanse, but the Rel Q is going to be enough. One more axe from the Draven. He's going to find it. Cashes in those stacks. Gets pulled back in by Hellitzer. Nothing else there, but I don't actually know how many he cashed in there, but I can't imagine it was too many at this point in the game. It's still a pretty major advantage. Gonna try and get this wave in. Might be able to base for an early BF or something, I'm not quite sure. He is sitting on 2,200 gold. He's 1,000 gold ahead at 5 minutes of his opposing laner. And already potentially regretting not banning the Vince Draven. Maddie, unfortunately, I think actually missed that entire wave.
I mean, yeah, you're going to dagger against the BF sword here. It's not looking like it's going to get any better for the ICW bot lane.
Yeah.
They're probably, you know, a little bit concerned already. Especially, you know, being flashless and without the cleanse now for a while. It's going to hurt.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to hurt.
Yeah, and it is going to be the AP Nasus thing. He's opting in for the BFT first. That damage is just crazy. So early in the game. This wave is not in a good spot for ICW. The Killalilla, like we said, on this Malzahar, he just can't do anything. That being said, Rack 96 is going to get caught out. The Nether Grasp comes out as well. Rack going to escape without having to use Flash, just going to use the Ghost.
And not having to ult either.
Yeah. Oh my god, that damage. I cannot get over that damage. Does land the Test of Spirit, excuse me. That was going to go in. Oh, Blaziken sort of really good cancel onto that Rel engage. The Q still going to land. Not quite able to get that last axe onto Deja Full, but Blaziken is going to have to pay the price. And this Draven. Yes, this will stay picked Ashe into Draven, which, as far as I'm aware about Draven, is one of the better matchups you can have into it. Not 100% sure if that's true, but pretty sure I read it somewhere. And a 2k gold lead, just from the 2 kills on the Draven and various CS leads across the map. Riftmark is, especially relative to yesterday, having a very, very good game so far. Have a look at the gold here. Draven is on 3.5k at just 7 minutes. Relative to the rest of the game is pretty much 1 to 2k above everyone else, which is crazy.
Not where you want to be if you're an Iverngers. We're
Alawi really is torture.
I dislike both the champions in the top lane here.
Yeah.
Not like I don't dislike.
Are you getting as much pain as I am from watching this? Oh, it's going to be a big flash in with the ult from T-Zums! And he's not going to have enough damage to finish him off. Just maybe got a little bit impatient and went in. Nasus still had that ultimate available, flashed away from that Alawi ultimate. And another advantage for Havoc. At this point in the game, it's already looking bleak.
It looked like a little bit of a desperation play, thinking, you know, we've got to pick up a lead somewhere. And
Yeah.
Tryndamere is going to be very hard to lock down.
Yeah, I can see that.
That's not how T-Zums will have wanted it to go. This game's looking like it's in a very tough position already for Iverngers. Have it looking more like the team that people were expecting today.
Yeah.
I think it could have just been a few teething issues yesterday, you know, at very early doors, and players getting used to each other. But Riftmark is coming back in.
First coming in again. The Magnus Storm going to come in. Vince does have the hook landed on top of him. The ult going to be enough to finish off the Ashe. And it just goes from bad to worse. And I don't know if it's too early to say that that could be game, set, and match already. The 4-0 Draven. Tryndamere having that Nether Grasp used is going to get away with the ultimate, and I think this does look very, 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 very difficult in every part of the map for ICW. That Draven, while I get another gold check, is now on nearly 5k. He's doing nearly 2k gold per minute he's on at the moment. He is sitting on 1.4k in his inventory. Big base waiting. I think that's probably a... I don't actually know what that is. Is that an IE, maybe? Which he would have enough for IE now in 70 gold. It's a BT first he's going for.
It's also just going to make him harder to kill.
Yeah, he's going to be unkillable now. Basically unstoppable.
It's looking difficult, you know. You've got a Bloodthirster against Greaves and Electrics.
Yeah.
ICW are going to be sort of racking their brains on this one, on how they... And Riftmark's
trying to get the wave in. Riftmark is back again. The Curse of the Sad Mummy. So much damage from the Draven. The Bandage toss lands as well. Deja Fool. Well, he's not going to get away. We know this. The final axe to put him to his grave. Draven 5-0-0 at 11 minutes. Get a quick look on the Nasus stacks as requested in Twitch chat. He's at 123, which, if he was AD Nasus, I don't think is particularly great, but I don't think he really cares that much about stacks at the moment. I don't know how AP Nasus plays. But yeah, this is a nearly 40 CS difference in bot lane as well.
And they're just playing in between.
Howlitzer, the dive gonna come out. Time Gear and Davis, this is such a dominant display. Goodness. 2 more axes potentially. Davis gonna tank the tower for his ADC. Vince collects yet another check from this ICW bot lane. The Bramble Vest on the Nautilus to try and negate some of the effect of this Bloodthirst are really just not going to make any kind of a difference at all. Now sitting on 6.6k gold. He's going to have nearly 2 items at 12 minutes. Crow finds himself in a little bit of trouble here. Obviously, it's very, very squishy, courtesy of the AP Nasus build. The Tentacles, the Test of Spirit going to slow. Riftmark is here for the counter gank. Riftmark genuinely having a really, really good game. A really, really big pickup on all fronts from Havoc.
He's been everywhere he needs to be, and functioning very well as an enabler. You know, even being there to counter gank at the right time. I think this is a Rift that people weren't expecting so early in the season, adjusting to a new role.
Yeah. I mean, it's 32 CS up as well, along with like ganks upon ganks upon ganks. Davis gonna get caught out by this hook from Howlitzer. Just gonna jump over that wall to get away. BFT finished on Mumu. The Straven, the BT, BF sword, and Zerx.
He's just scary, isn't he?
Yeah. And Riftmark, the flash in. The Ashe tried to use that Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Blaziken is going to find the taunt onto Vince. If there's ever a time he's going to die, it's now. The Draven ulti is huge. Blaziken sits on 1 HP. Howlitzer is the first victim. The Nethergrass comes out, but Killavilla is going to be soon to follow. Riftmark taking his leave now. The Undying Ray still available. And Deja Fool, the last one to be taken down. 11-0, an 8k gold lead. 6 grubs granted for ICW, but given they only really help their team is already ahead, it's not looking good at all. I actually don't think they can win, period, from this position, even with the level of play we have in UNL. Teasums, you know, the only one that's managing to stay relatively even, but even he's falling behind now. It's I don't even think you had scale either. That's the grim part about this.
It's definitely got to be concerning for ICW at this point.
You think a little bit, potentially?
I think that thought might be
Yeah,
cropping up in their minds now,
I don't, I don't know if you're potentially holding off psychic powers, but I reckon they might be quite concerned that this game could be difficult.
I don't know where they'd even start getting back into this one. I mean, you know, that fight bot looks for a second like it could be alright, but they're just so far ahead. And Rack's getting in the side lanes now. You know, we mentioned it before, is ICW would, sorry, Havoc would be looking to get Rack into a side lane as soon as possible, get a bit of a lead bot and then transition it into mid lane, but now that that's happened and the Draven is 7-0, it's scary. I don't think Iverngers even have a jungle anymore. It's been nationalized.
And Tryndamere does get caught out. He is going to grab the shutdown. Finally, ICW get their names on the board.
Tryndamere dying with ult up. In another game, you might be a little bit annoyed at that, but I don't think it's going to matter here. To be fair though, if there was a champ that you wanted to rely on to 1v5, Alawi's probably got to be up there.
Yeah. Howlitzer just about going to get away with his life. Riftmark crashing the Rift Herald into a wall.
It's tactical because it would have wasted HP on this turret.
He did it again. For the second time.
That boy is a glider.
Not going to get that charge off in the end.
I did think we were going to see a bandage toss under the turret there.
Rift trying to find this Alawi here. Does not take damage. The steel cap's reducing so much. Rack deciding it's not worth his time to pursue this.
Riftmark not helping the stereotype for Indian drivers there.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
How do Iverngers look at the map?
This is painful to watch.
It hurts. It happens so quickly. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it just happened so quick. It was a very slippery slope.
Yeah. Yeah, the Draven now got that finished Infinity Edge. 10,000 gold in his bank account right now. He's pretty much 4k ahead of the entire game, everyone else. Another gold injection into the Draven Trust Fund in this tower. Baron is up in 1 minute, I think. Yeah, it's really just rough, isn't it?
I mean, trust fund is an understatement. Draven's got the Paris Hilton trust fund. But objective bounties alive.
Yeah, that's true. Objective bounties are up. If they get this Baron, they'll get a nice 500 gold cash in on top of the 3,000. Just have to get the Baron, of course.
You have to believe. If nothing else, you can believe.
This is a game where Rack is going to shine. Alawi does get the Test of Spirit onto the Draven. The ult flash in. Not going to find anyone. Draven ulti. Enough to finish that kill off. Gonna set their attention towards this Baron. They just killed that thing so quickly.
You can steal it, Blaze.
Blazikus is looking for this. Does have that ultimate available. Can't jump over the wall. How much do we trust in the Riftmark smite? Blazikus getting ready. He's going to dive in. And he's not going to get it. Riftmark smiting on 43 HP. Time Gear going to pick up the gold from that attempted steal.
It was close.
It was close. It was very... In fact, I believe it said 43. I think that's the HP the Baron was on when it got smited. I saw the Amumu and I thought it was the Rammus icon. I almost was really happy, but yeah, it's just rough, man, isn't it?
It just makes splitting for the Alawi so much more painful. You know, I suppose I'm saying that as though it was expected for ICW to get the Baron, or rather, not expected for Havoc, but it's going to be hard to deal with these waves, I think. You know, you've got a Tryndamere and an AP Nasus splitting the map with a very large Draven and a beef in front.
He has the Mercurial Scimitar on top of the cleanse.
He's up 2 items on the Ashe.
And the ult is going to come down onto him. It's not going to mean anything. There'll be a tower dive coming in here. If Riftmark manages to land the bandage toss, he does, but only onto the Alawi. It's a flash curse with the Sad Mummy! And Dabis goes in with the Magnet Storm as well. And ICW just get absolutely demolished. Only 1 kill going over so far, but the mid tower, the next victim. Rack 96 taking the bot tower as well. 2 inhibs going to fall here. I'm not sure if they quite have it in them to be able to end yet. Did use a couple of ultimates on that fight. Might just be able to win just by slapping their dick on the table like Riftmark does. The bandage toss does land and it's a big engage. Riftmark is going to fall. Howlitzer, the next victim. Nethergrasp used onto the Trinity, but he has the Undying Rage available and he's going to survive. And ICW, 1 by 1, are going to fall. Crow using that ultimate to stay alive. And the first game of today is going to come to an end. Crow just about going to survive. And Havoc are on the board.